Today I'll be talking to you about my master's proposal project. I've just started this year, and as mentioned, it is about assessing the invasive alien plant impacts of ecosystem services in the city of Cape Town, which came about as a collaboration between the Invasive Species Unit of the City of Cape Town and the Centre for Invasive Biology in Stellenbosch University. Ecosystem services are benefits humans derive from healthy functional ecosystems. This relates to, as mentioned in the Millennium Ecosystem Assessment, such as regulating services such as clean air, provisioning services such as water regulation, and cultural services such as recreation. The ecosystems within the City of Cape Town that will be providing these services are primarily fynbos based, and as we've been speaking about today, there are many invasive alien plants within the fynbos biome. And these invasive alien plants have both negative impacts, such as increasing fire intensity, but they can also have a positive benefit, such as providing a fuel source and shade. So my objective will be to identify the impacts, both positive and negative, of invasive alien plants on ecosystem services in the City of Cape Town, and to investigate the associated socioeconomic impacts. Some of the gaps that I've seen in the literature is that many studies have been done on the ecological impact, per se, of an invasive alien plant, but the challenge, of course, is to link this to an ecosystem service and how it's affected that, and also to use invasive alien plant characteristics to identify high-impact invaders, and then how a change in the ecosystem service itself may impact on the socioeconomic of beneficiaries. So this provides an overview of my planned project. It's divided into two parts, a desktop data studies, and then a chapter 3, which is a case study which I'll use to test some of the assumptions I make in the first 2 chapters. So chapter 1 is primarily a data collection chapter, where I will just identify the relationship between invasive alien plants and ecosystem services. So my primary aims and questions will be which invasive alien plants are associated with fynbos vegetation type. You have your Afro-montane forest, you have your dune veldt, and your riparian zones, and each of these have their own associated invasive alien plants. And so each of these vegetation types will also have different ecosystem services that they provide. So how each of these are impacted, to which degree, and of course each of those vegetation types will have different services and therefore different human beneficiaries. So I will obtain data from peer-reviewed articles, databases, the literature, stakeholders, and maps, as well as looking at not just Cape Town information, but also from climates in the Mediterranean climates. And then I will be providing a service table, and then putting this together as a spatial analysis. And then I will be identifying, chapter 2 will be an ecological desktop study, which I will use to identify combinations of ecosystem types, plant growth forms, and invader effects most clearly associated with the impacts of ecosystem services. So the main aim and questions will be, can we identify combinations of ecosystem types, such as a dune veldt and the invader characteristics of that particular system type, and then the invader effects that may indicate impacts on ecosystem services. So the challenge, of course, is to link the characteristics of the invasive alien plant with a change or an effect on an ecosystem service. So this question can be answered in many ways, I'm sure, but one of the methods that I'm going to try is the generic fixed point scoring system, using data from, as I mentioned in chapter 1. It'll also be very important to have information from stakeholder workshops for this, especially from experts in the field, and also to determine both positive or negative changes from the original state. So this is just a generic model of how I plan to go about it, using a scoring change to determine different ecosystem types, and I score it based on medium, high, and low impact, and then compare it across different vegetation types. I'd like to thank my sponsors and my supervisors. Thank you.